Yo, Dom Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Dom Mafia Report. And you did hear correctly. Buffalo Bills full padded practice has commenced in Buffalo, New York, or Orchard Park, rather. And it's normally a very exciting time for Buffalo Bills fans where we get to sort of dissect the roster, look into some of these key positional battles, and really get an idea of what the final 53-man roster is going to be. Now, do keep in mind that this was scheduled prior to the whole beer bug to occur 3 weeks ago. So these next 14 days of fully padded practices are not only going to be crucial for the Buffalo Bills to avoid injury, but at the same time, get some of these newbies ready to go with our playbook and get people into the speed of playing football. This is a very important time for all Buffalo Bills fans during these full padded practices and training camp. So Dom Mafia, ya boys gotcha. In fact, I'm planning on dropping a daily video giving you the updates of what actually goes down during these practices so we can really get a sense of what our team is going to look like this year, especially considering the fact that there are no preseason games. So before I dive into any of that, I need to give a giant announcement. Smash that like button, motherfucker. And all right, now that that's out of the way. So right before training camp, Sean McDermott sat down with One Bills Live and gave a 15 to 20 minute interview. And one of the first things he addressed were some of the key injuries today. And so one of the first things that he addressed were players that were sitting out and were not going to participate during this morning's workout. And that included Levi Wallace. He ended up having a sore back and he sat on the sidelines and watched practice. This one's going to be pretty interesting. Sean McDermott does not see it being a serious injury. He didn't seem to be fazed by this whatsoever, but it is going to be very interesting, especially since he's a part of one of the key positional battles that is going down with this team right now. Next is Ed Oliver. He's nursing a sore hip. Once again, Sean McDermott absolutely had no worries about this whatsoever. Right in my opinion, he'll probably be ready to go either by tomorrow/Wednesday. And then some of the more obvious ones, such as Tommy Sweeney, who was placed on the PUP list, and then, of course, John Feliciano, who just ended up going through his pectoral surgery. There were a few other players that were redshirt non-contact. That included Isaiah Hodgins and Voshan Joseph, but for the most part, out of the 81 players that are currently on the Buffalo Bills roster at this time, it was a relatively healthy showing. And so now it only makes sense just to really dive into some of the standout players, especially according to what the reporters who are lucky enough to be on the field today decided to tell us. Number one, Stefon Diggs. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what. Any doubt that someone was playing a very cruel and elongated prank on me that Stefon Diggs was on the Buffalo Bills have ceased to exist. Seeing the man jog on to the field and make some pretty great grabs. He put on an absolute show when it came to route running and creating separation, and we even ended up seeing him connecting with our boy Josh Allen, establishing that chemistry. Most reporters, they ended up saying lines like Diggs is exactly what is advertised and just speaking volumes of exactly what this guy is able to do. I was really excited to see him in action and sort of be able to see exactly what he brings to the Buffalo Bills by itself by putting himself within our system. That was incredibly exciting to watch. In fact, there was a couple Stefon Diggs clips that surface on Twitter, and I feel like I probably watched them hands down 98 times. And so next big player that really stood out today, according to reports, was the dude, Josh Norman. Y'all might remember me saying this. Let's put it this way. I've probably said this at least 15 times throughout the past couple of months. Josh Norman is coming back. He's on a revenge tour, and that's exactly what he demonstrated today during padded practice. Had several pass breakups. In fact, there was one video that surfaced of him actually knocking away a pass from Robert Foster. That gave me a ridiculous chub. And while making those pass breakups, was noticeably fired up. That's the exact type of energy that the Buffalo Bills need. I can't tell you how annoying it is for me to hear Dolphins fans say how electric their cornerback room is. I'm crossing my fingers that Josh Norman is even 75% of what he was in 2015. So we can, without shadow of a doubt, prove to the rest of the world that our secondary is hands down the best to be in 2020. And so then some Bills rookies ended up getting some love as well. There was reports and comments on how big Isaiah Hodgins was. I'm pretty sure somebody ended up saying that he was the biggest wide receiver that we had out on the field. And that just speaks volumes, right? I mean, besides the fact when we did end up getting Stephon Diggs, some people, very few, thought that we still needed that big-bodied receiver not named Duke Williams. And just based off of his size already, it's looking like that competition is starting to narrow. Granted, Isaiah Hodgins was in a red non-contact jersey this morning. There's still a lot for him to prove, but as far as size is concerned, he seems to have it against pretty much each and every single receiver that is on the roster. They also mentioned that Gabe Davis was built like he's been in the NFL for over 4 years, so it looks like our rookie pickups have been turning heads thus far. And then last but not least, Josh Allen. And so it seems like that the offseason work that he has been doing has really been starting to pay off. In fact, the last play of practice was a deep shot right to John Brown before they ended up walking back to the locker room. And it's already noticeable of how he has changed his mechanics when going about that deep ball route. Dude, man, was also paired with Stephon Diggs a lot. It seems like that the coaches are really trying to build that chemistry almost immediately. And so, Don Mafia, that's going to be it for the training camp update. Like I said, I'm planning on doing at least one of these every single day, especially since we only have 14 days of padded practice. So there's going to be a lot of news to break and a lot of speculation, especially since the Buffalo Bills don't have any type of preseason games this year. So I really hope you enjoy it. Say that you like this. Smash the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. Say that you're new here. And always remember, let's go Buffalo.